Arteta's performance. It's about the role. Eddie is fine being a squad player. Balogun wants to be a starter. There are big reports he's going to go to Inter Milan for around 35 million, maybe a little bit more. Thoughts on that? Is that a mistake from Mikel Arteta?
Massive mistake. Yeah, like that comment there says Eddie's fine being a squad player. Well, he shouldn't be here then. Yeah, if Eddie's fine and that's how it is, then he shouldn't be at the football club. Yeah, because none of them players should be comfortable just being squad players. Same with Rob Holding. He's just the biggest cheerleader in football, isn't he? Right, he's happy just to be there. Yeah, and listen, Eddie and Nketiah can only score one type of goal, 6-yard box, which is cool for somebody else, just not for Arsenal. Yeah, Balogun's got a lot more about his game and should be pushing to be a starter at Arsenal. Yeah, and I rate that he backs himself like that. Yeah, and people will say, yeah, but he scored in the French league and whatever. Who cares? You still got to do it. Yeah, and I know it led to nothing, like I said earlier, but this is a kid that's on his way up. Yeah, and if we get rid of him, we better make sure we got a buyback clause and a sell-on clause. Yeah, because he is going to be a top player, mate. I'm convinced of it. He's going to be a top player. Exactly. Eddie's 24 years old, and he's happy being a squad player. He's just happy nicking $100,000 a week, Eddie. Yeah, Balogun, top player, mate. And I said it. Yeah, and I can't remember what Twitter account posted it out years ago. When we played Dundalk or something, and I said sign him because he was like haggling. There was reports that he wanted $100,000 a week, Balogun, and he played like 3 times. I said give him $100,000 a week then. Yeah, and everyone went mad. Some Twitter account put it out. It went mad viral. No, he said give him $100,000 a week. Yeah, and that last season they're all like, oh, bring him back. What a player! Look, he's smashing it in France. Yeah, get rid of Eddie. Get him in the team. Yeah, funny how things change, isn't it? Yeah, we give Eddie $100,000 a week instead, and he does nothing. Yeah, for me, Balogun's miles clear. He's more physical, he's quicker, he can hold the ball up better. Yeah, his link-up plays miles better, and he can score all types of different goals. Yeah, and his first touch is better. Ticks every box. Yeah, Eddie, what does he do? He's a 6-yard merchant, which is cool for West Ham. Yeah, or Brentford, not for Arsenal.
I hear you on that. This here says, still get rid of Holding. Sorry, still get rid of Holding on for a paycheck. Cedric Diggory, Mohamed El Necessary, Lagonda, and Nketiah and Pepperoni.
That was really testing your dyslexia there, wasn't it, mate?
Well, mate, it really was. Making these fake words up, my brain was killing me. Yeah, look, Arsenal. Who do you think Arsenal are going to go? If Arsenal get rid of a lot of these players, which they're highly likely to, else do you really think you should be going for? I've seen a link today, and I don't know how credible this is around João Felix. Is that the kind of individual that you should go for if you raise some money, or is it a different position?
All day long. Yeah, I said this a couple of months ago when he and the people in the chat were going, oh, but he flopped at Chelsea. Okay, good one. I mean, he's going to flop at Arsenal, does it? Yeah, because if this manager's as good as you lot keep telling me he is, then he'll make it work, won't he? It's as simple as that. João Felix, we need a striker all day long, mate. Yeah, I actually think if we get rid of Thomas Partey, we need 2 midfielders. Yeah, if we keep Thomas Partey, we still need another midfielder. Yeah, Declan Rice has had like 1 injury, I think, in like 6 years. Now Donny gets injured this season. Every player who comes with a clean injury record to our club ends up getting injured. Thomas Partey was the last one. So I don't know, man. I think we need another midfielder. In terms of who that is, probably Lavia maybe we'll probably get. That's not who I would necessarily get. I'd go and get Caicedo. I'd get Caicedo and bin Jorginho immediately, and then go and get Lavia as the backup. Yeah, go and get both. But my first choice would be Caicedo. I think we need a right winger. Yeah, we should definitely be in for a striker as well. Yeah, go and buy Ivan Toney. Oh, but he's banned. And what? Yeah, he can still train. Can still get in the team, in the training ground.
He actually can't train in the training ground. He's not allowed to.
Well, he's not legally allowed to train in the training ground under the Premier League rules.
No, what I read, and something what I read, if someone's got a new link, then educate me on it. What I read is that he's banned from all aspects of football until January. Obviously, privately, he can have a coach and go to a park and train or hire a place out, but he can't go
can't go to the train. Wow, that's mad. I thought he was just banned from playing football on match days. I thought he was still allowed to train at the training ground.
No, that's what I read anyway. Now, I read it in an article somewhere that he's legitimately like banned completely from playing football at any professional level. Otherwise,
but he's not technically playing, is he? He's
yeah,
training.
but I suppose the reason they're doing it is because it does stop things like, and he can't be transferred either now because that's part of football activities. But I think that's why they've done it, because their view is, well,
Wow.
we want it to, it sounds harsh, they want it to damage him, and 6 months of not doing anything is hard at his age. But it's only what I read. Sorry, someone says can't train until September. Okay, so maybe the training's a little bit later in that, but
the thing is, surely he can be transferred, right? You can transfer, you can do a deal for January for him right now, can't you? Or are you not allowed to do that anymore?
I don't know the ins and outs of that, but yeah, listen, I think Tony, listen, I'd love Tony at Man United. I think he's such
class, mate.
Such a talented player.
Somebody in the chat said Tony's banned. Question mark. Where have you been? Where have you been, bro? He's been banned for weeks.
This here says keep Balogun and Eddie, but use Jesus on the right wing.
I'd keep Jesus doing what he's doing, but I'd keep Balogun in the team. There's a way you could get them all in. You don't have to play them every game. I'm pretty sure we're going to have, if we're going to go deep in competitions this season, instead of throwing the cups away, we're going to have close to 60-odd games. Balogun going to get 30 comfortably. Yeah, Jesus will get more than that because he's a better footballer right now.
30 games?
Games. We'll have about 60 games.
I thought you meant goals then. I misheard.
No, we'll have about 60 games if we're not throwing all the cups in. Well, we can't throw the Champions League in the bin because we've been waiting 6 years to get back in it. So we can't throw that away. The League Cup's beneath us anyway. The Superfan channel told us that. So that's one cup we are definitely throwing away. Yeah. And we're not likely to win the Champions League. We're not likely to win the Premier League. So we've got to go for the FA Cup, haven't we?
That actually brings us to this next super chat actually that says hi crybabies, I hope you and all your families are doing well. Lee, what is your expectations for Arsenal next season? What you will consider a failure? What will you consider a failure?
Not winning anything. You have to win stuff. Yeah, let's be real. By the end of this transfer window, I do think we'll go and get another couple of players as well, whether they're top draw players or whether they're squad fillers, so we can use this thin squad narrative again later down the road, remains to be seen. But success is all that's needed at this football club. Win trophies, mate. Anything else is failure. Last season was a failure. I don't care whether people want to dress it up. You didn't pick up a trophy. You didn't win anything. Therefore, you failed. You failed with the objective of the sport. That's it. And we're going to be, by the time we've signed maybe a couple more players, we're going to be touching nearly £750 million he's spent. When am I allowed to sit here and say win a title or sack him? How much more money? Because he signed 25 new players. That's a whole squad, by the way. 25 players he signed. He's done 630 million at the minute. 640 million. Yeah.
Jeez.
When is it acceptable to say, no, I demand you win a title or you can jog on, mate? Full season coming up. So, yeah, you have to win stuff. But let's be real, we won't. Yeah, we ain't winning the Champions League. We ain't winning the league. And I've seen so many Arsenal fans recently saying that, oh, yeah, but Man City are weaker. And they're getting rid of Mahrez and Bernardo could be going. And they're getting rid of Cancelo. And they're so much weaker now. Yeah, and they're still elite. And they will still go out there and do what is required to go and win it again. And nobody else takes it seriously in this league. If we were serious, we would have already been in for Caicedo and signed him, as well as Rice. Now, I love what we've done with the first bit of the window. Great. We've got our players to on pre-season. Whether I like them all or not is irrelevant. The club wanted them. They've gone and got them. That's something we ain't seen for as long as I can remember. But ultimately, it ain't enough to win the title. Let's just be real with it. And they won't go and do what's enough to win the title. So even with Man City are getting rid of all of these players, they're still going to win the league. Because we won't go that extra step. And I was speaking to my mate who's coming out here. His dad's out here at the minute. He goes, he actually has nearly had enough of this club as well. Like literally millimeters from sending his season ticket back saying piss off. Yeah, but he said grown men, 60 years old, crying because Granit Xhaka left. And they're, well, we want you to stay, Granit. Like, what's that all about? Against Wolves. And he walks out when they're doing the walk of shame. Yeah, and everyone's going, where you going? Where you going? Because I ain't fucking celebrating second. Oh, you're miserable. So like, and then they've put the price up. Now you can't transfer. You can't just give the ticket to your family member. Like now they've lowered the amount of games you're allowed. You've got on your ticket. Put the price up 4%, and now you have to do 17 games out of 19 to be able to renew your ticket again. Now they've also done a ballot system. Check this. I'm glad I've just remembered that. Check this, right? To get a silver membership at Arsenal, you had to have a red membership originally and go to a certain amount of games to build up your points to then be able to get a silver. So what this clever football club have done, yeah, and with a silver membership, you could buy a ticket for a home game 2 months in advance. With a red, it's 1 month in advance, so very unlikely you're going to get one, yeah? Right? So now check this. This clever football club decided, I know, the people that have worked their way up to a silver, don't worry, you're in a ballot with the red members next season, i.e. this season, for every home game. So now you could set up a membership right now on a red membership, and you could get a ticket, but I've got a silver and I can't because I didn't win the ballot. And do you know why they've done that? Do you know why they've done that? Because they want more new fans at that stadium because they spend money. Yeah, they don't want the geezer who lives around the corner who's been going 20 years. Yeah, that's just going to get the tube there and the tube back, not buy anything in the ground, not buy the shirts, just goes there, pays his ticket money, and that's it. Yeah, they don't want you there. They don't want season ticket holders there. Yeah, and this club is slowly filtering away from the actual match day fan. They want more touristy type fans there.
And I get that claim, but you know when you say you haven't been serious, you man have dropped like £230 million so far this window.
Yep.
How is that not being serious?
65 million on Kai Havertz. For an extra 10 million, we could have had McAllister and Maddison.
Yeah, but your manager though doesn't.
Couldn't we? And their wages, by the way, is less than Kai Havertz.
Yeah, but that's a hindsight conversation for later because your manager rates Kai Havertz higher, so they've backed him in that decision. So I get where you're coming from. That you would have preferred those two, but your manager has gone. Your manager has said no. I believe Kai Havertz is a better signing for us than Maddison. So. Yep. You guys have you've done enough business. It's whether or not the business. See, this is the difference I think between you and I. I think you've done enough business. It's whether or not that business is good enough. So I think you've been serious. Your owners and Edu have done the business for Arteta. It's just now whether or not Arteta is good enough and the team's good enough to get you over the line. I think we just see it a little bit differently because
I get your point, but at the same time, you said that if this manager this manager also gave Eddie Nketiah £100,000 a week. Based off of 5 goals that took us from 4th to 5th the season before last. He's also given Mohamed El Neni a new contract. Why? Oh, but we're going to make him a coach. How about jog on, mate? Yeah, what is this, a creche? We're paying for a dog at the training ground. What's that all about? Who's paying for that? Who's paying for the dog food? Who looks after it when we're all on pre-season? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, what a gimmick. Oh, hi, win. Like, who takes it home? Is it like when you're at school and you have the gerbil at school? Yeah, and like, oh, you can take it home this week, Samantha. Like, oh, next week, Johnny's taking it home. Like, fucking, what is this, mate? Honestly, this football club is buried. Yeah, it is buried. It is buried, right? And not only that, you're saying it's serious. Yes, the owners have given the amount of money to whatever he wants, which is great, fantastic. The problem is what he's buying isn't good enough. Declan Rice is a top player, by the way. Yeah, Timber, we don't know. Nobody watches Dutch football unless you're Dutch. Let's just be real with it. There's all these hipsters that reckon they watch Timber every week at Ajax. No, you didn't. Stop lying. You're not sitting there going, I know, I'm not going to watch Super Sunday this week. I'm going to tune into Ajax against fucking Herenveen. Like, come on, shut up. Yeah, let's just be real with it here. Right? But my point is, you go and sign Zinchenko because you want to play an inverted fullback. How about buy a defender that can defend? Oh, we had one, Kieran Tierney. Yeah, but then he's always injured. Well, that's another myth. Last time he actually had an injury was last March. Was the last time he was injured? Well, March. Tommy Yasu, since he's been at that football club, has been injured more than Thomas Partey and Tierney. But what did this fan base want to do? They want to get rid of Thomas Partey, get rid of Tierney, and keep Tommy Yasu. Why? Why? Because it's vibes. Oh, making friends already, Tommy. Arsenal tweet this crap out, mate. Looking good, Tommy. Here's another fruit shoot, Tommy. Fucking come on. Like, it's pathetic. The way our social media team tweet is embarrassing. Yeah, Man United ain't much further behind. But this is my point, Terry. You go and spend 17 million or 20 million or whatever it was on Sambi Lokonga. You do 35 on Fabio Vieira. That's 55 million. Now we're over halfway to getting Caicedo. Now adding Tomiyasu, who's clearly not ever going to be fit enough or good enough. That's now Caicedo money. So yes, you've got 2 players less, but you've got 1 quality footballer that can start week in, week out. Now go through the rest of the players. Like, we knew that Jesus weren't prolific, but then we go and sign Trossard. So now we've got 2 players that are not prolific. and they both play the same position. Why don't you just buy one decent one? I like Trossard, I like Jesus. Why don't you just go and buy a worldie? Yeah, and the thing is, if you look at the amount of players we've signed and the average fee, apart from Declan Rice, in fact, even if you throw Declan Rice in and break it all down, works out around 20 odd million quid a player, right? Which on paper isn't a lot, is it? But when you add up, we've got 25 players. I think that was before Declan Rice, actually. But when you work it out, this guy said, I'm never happy. Mate, we're on the longest trophy drought in a decade. Why would I be happy? We have not won a trophy for over 3 years.
Are you not excited, though? You're not excited about the new season ahead?
I'm excited when this club go and finish this transfer window with what I want. Then I'll be excited. Until then, I'm semi-excited. Somebody said to me the other day, what do you rate the transfer window? And I said, what, right now? I said, right now, Granit Xhaka's gone, so instantly that's a green tick. Yeah, that's definitely a green tick. Thank God he's out of this club. Yeah, if there was 2 players that summed up this football club for the last 20 years, he's one of them, and Rob Holding's the other. Yeah, and he needs to go as well. Sambi Lokonga needs to go. Fabio Vieira, absolute rubbish, mate. Absolute rubbish. Oh, but he's still young. I don't care. Nobody brings up age when Erling Haaland's bagging 53 goals. Nobody brings up Vinicius Junior's age. Yeah, but when it's, oh, but he's only young. It's only young because it's an excuse for covering up their crap performances. Yeah, so you bring up the age. Yeah, the fact and reality is we're on the longest trophy drought for a decade. If you go back, 2014, we won the cup. 2015, we won the cup. 2017, we won the cup. 2020, we won the cup. Well, when are we winning the next one then? Because now that is the longest trophy drought for a decade. But everyone's happy. Oh, but I feel closer to the club. And what, mate? They don't care about you. They just want your money. Yeah, but I like the team. Well, hold on a minute. This manager better deliver this season. He better deliver, mate. He's done nearly 650 million quid. Deliver something. If he's that good a manager, win something. Yeah, and I'm sick and tired of these people sitting there telling you, oh, yeah, we'll just back it. I'll back it when I see something worth backing. Yeah, last season, we were fantastic. But again, we go out in the January transfer window for Caicedo. We come back with Jorginho. Tells you all you need to know about this football club. We're the nearly club. And when I was speaking to my mate's dad the other night, he said, we've been like this since Bertie Mee days, mate. They're the nearly club. We're nearly good. We're 2 players away. Yeah, look how many times under Arsene Wenger we needed a striker or a midfielder or a defender. We're always the nearly team. How about we be the team?
I hear you. I hear you on that. There's got some super chats here. First one says Arsenal till I die. It says dog's surname should have been F all. Banter aside, I do think we're heading in the right direction. Not stressing over the window. Let's see.
No, see, I'm not stressing over the window, and I do agree. We are heading in the right direction in terms of league finish. But it's a Premier League spreadsheet, mate. That's it. If you ain't won the league, it's irrelevant.
Yeah, this here says semi-excited. Geez, I'd hate to see you not excited.
For people that are going and roasting me and saying, no, so somebody in the chat said it's called supporting. How about we compare fandom then, mate, and start and status as a supporter then? How many games you been to? Not as many as me. Yeah, how much money you spent? Not as much as I have. How many years you supported the club? Not as long as I have. How much knowledge of the club do you have? Probably not as much as me. I'm not the oracle, but I know a lot about this football club and its history going back all the way. So when people want to sit there and chat, it's called supporting. Come back when you've done me. Yeah, how about that?
When this is the only sound that went from here. When you said how many games you've been to, I just heard that. Yeah. I just heard.
Yeah, how many games you been to? How are you supporting? How are you supporting that's better than me? What? Because you're blindly backing the manager that has put us in the longest trophy drought for a decade after doing nearly 650 million quid, having 25 new players and bottling the biggest bottle job in the league history ever after bottling a top 4 race the season before with 3 games to go. So I don't understand why everyone thinks so rosy and oh my God. I'll tell you why it is though, because this fan base en masse, not all of them, en masse, yeah, just want to feel part of something because it fills a void in their life. Yeah, so it's their release. And I get that. But at the same time, they've lost their standards for this football club, Terry. And they've allowed the PR of this football club, the ex-players, yeah, and Arsenal social media team to play up on vibes. And I said to you last week or the week before, COVID was a massive thing for this football club because it showed them how easy it is to control the fan base. Yeah, it said, oh wow, we can play on their emotions now. Yeah, so since COVID, and they were allowed back in the ground, Arsenal will put their prices up 8%.
I get you on that.
The shirts have gone up nearly 20% since then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they've lowered the amount of games you go to on your season ticket now, and now you have to go to 17 games out of 19, I think, to be able to renew your season ticket the following season. Yeah, and now everyone is put into a ballot who ain't got a season ticket.
Yeah, I think that's
nobody cares.
That there is something that people should be objective about and go, that's actually wrong.